Today in Cannabis News, lawmakers in Indiana assert that they will pursue statewide cannabis legalization in the coming legislative session. U.S. President Joe Biden nominates an FDA commissioner that has recognized the prospective medicinal value of cannabis. And GOP House lawmakers officially unveil a proposal to legalize and regulate cannabis at the federal level. It's Tuesday, November 16th, and this is your Trichomes Morning Buzz.
Broadcasting live from the Trichomes.com studios in Southern California. It's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
First up, cannabis possession is presently penalized in Indiana by a jail sentence of about 180 days and a $1,000 ticket. Past offenses or possession of bigger quantities of cannabis can result in over a year in jail. In the coming legislative session, however, Democratic state lawmakers will campaign for statewide medical and recreational cannabis legalization. Legislators cite surveys showing that roughly 80% of Indiana residents support medical and or recreational cannabis legalization. In surveys, those figures have risen over time. Efforts to legalize cannabis by Democrats and a few Republicans have been attempted previously, all of which were unable to succeed. Governor Eric Holcomb has additionally stated his resistance to adult use cannabis legalization. He has also maintained his opposition to medical cannabis, previously stating that he won't authorize it before additional studies.
Next up, U.S. President Biden has stated that he plans to appoint a Food and Drug Administration commissioner who has recognized the prospective medicinal value of cannabis and claims to have recommended certain cannabinoids as a physician. Robert Califf, who once worked as the FDA's director during President Barack Obama's administration, has since remained low-key on cannabis concerns. But during a neuroscience research summit in 2016, Califf said people have identified a number of possible uses of marijuana. For example, AIDS wasting, epilepsy, neuropathic pain, treatment of spasticity associated with multiple sclerosis, cancer, and chemotherapy-induced nausea. And I had the chance to prescribe some of this in my cardiology practice in people with extreme heart failure who get a wasting cachectic syndrome. In explaining FDA's present view on cannabis, Califf said it's because we haven't gotten them into the pathway. What this means is that no one has demonstrated to the FDA that any such product is safe or effective for the treatment of any disease or condition. To change that, we need studies conducted using marijuana to rigorously assess the safety and effectiveness of marijuana for medical use.
Last up, as an alternate option to extensive cannabis reform measures by Democrats and scaled-back cannabis rescheduling measures by Republicans, numerous GOP lawmakers in the U.S. Congress have officially unveiled a proposal to legalize and regulate cannabis at the federal level early this week. There's doubt that Democratic cannabis legalization proposals would succeed sans Republican support, despite the fact that Democrats have control of Congress and the White House. The proposal, dubbed the States Reform Act, is sponsored by Representative Nancy Mace. The bill includes provisions to take cannabis off the Controlled Substances Act with backdated impacts for persons who have already been convicted. Previous federal cannabis offenses would have to be wiped inside a year, and cannabis would be subject to a 3% federal excise tax. The Food and Drug Administration would have minimal regulating power, with the goal of having the same authority on cannabis as alcohol, with the exception of medical cannabis. The bill aims to achieve bipartisanship by including equitable components like expungements for those with nonviolent cannabis crimes and implementing an excise tax, the proceeds of which would fund community revitalization, police departments, and small business administration initiatives.
That was today's Buzz. Thanks for listening. For more cannabis news and insights from industry professionals and a place to discuss these stories and others, visit trichomes.com.
And be sure to catch up with all of our other cannabis industry-related podcasts like Hash It Out, Tech in Cannabis, or the International Cannabis Conversation, wherever you get your podcasts. For Trichomes.com, I'm RJ Baldick.
And I'm Devin Leoff. Have a great day.